Hey, what's up, everybody? So, we are downtown right now on 12th and Alder at the youth jail. Well, the site for the new youth jail. I'm running solo. Hey, what's happening? I'm running solo today, so I'm going to be kind of flipping both sides of the camera here. So you guys are going to have to bear with me on that one. I know it's something unusual, but we're going to try to get you guys dialed in and make sure you get a chance to catch everything that's happening right now. Again, we're down on 12th and Alder here, just outside of the Decibel building, and across the street, I'm going to give you guys a view of what we're looking at right now. And what this is the Decrim Seattle, I want to say Decrim SPD, and we also have the King County Equity Now, two groups that are kind of coming together for this march on City Hall. And in the background here, you're going to see what's kind of going on down here. It's a healthy grouping of people out here right now, actually. In the background there was a site where that fire was a couple weeks ago. But it's an incredible grouping of people down here. Now, we're going to try to get down here and catch some of the speeches. Then I'll go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit more about some of the kind of what's happening with the King County Equity Now. And we'll get you guys dialed in as things kind of move forward. So I'm going to hush up and listen right now.
Well, actually, not ask. Demand that they free them all. So I would like everybody to turn around and look at them. And on the count of three, on the count of three, let's say it again together so they can hear us loudly. On the count of three, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Free them all!
Oh, okay, I know that's right. Okay. Okay, we are going to take a moment to bless the land, the indigenous land that we are on. Please welcome Roxanne and give her your full present attention, please. Ignash Manukshak, Roxanne White, Washnash Kanik, Yakima, Ku Nimi Poo, Ku Nuksak, Ku Grova Anani, Wachaishash, Duwamish territory. My name is Roxanne White. I'm Yakima Nez Perce Nuksak and Grova Anani, and I presently reside here on the sacred lands of the Duwamish Coast Salish people. And so I really want to thank Decriminalize Seattle and all the organizers for inviting us into this space and honoring indigenous people of these lands and urban Indians and all the Native Americans that reside on this territory here. Today, I just want to acknowledge in front of everybody, and I want to remind everybody that we are on the ancestral lands of the Coast Salish people, the Duwamish, the Suquamish, the Tulalip, the Muckleshoot people. And so when we're doing these works, that we remember that there's a pandemic going on in all of these territories, and many of our people do not and cannot come out here because we are being severely, horrendously attacked by COVID. We have lost many of our elders, so I want to acknowledge that to the indigenous, to the Native people in these communities that can't come out here today, that our prayers go out to you. Today, I just want to say that when we go out here today for these young people, that when we go out here against the oppression and the systemic racism that we're up against as Black and indigenous people and brown people, that we remember those that can't be here right now. And I want to thank everybody that is here, everybody that did come out and put yourself possibly at risk to stand up for our rights, to stand up for justice. Thank you very much. We're going to sing a song. I also want to say that, even when I come up here, I want to say that, that forgive me to any of my Coast Salish relatives. We got to do better. I got to do better. We all got to do better to honor those people that are from these territories. That I'm a guest here, as many, if you're not Suquamish, if you're not Coast Salish, if you're not indigenous and your ancestors haven't come from here for over 500 years, then you are a guest here. And so I am a guest here on this territory right here. My homelands are east of the mountains in Yakima Reservation. So I want to remind people that we remember those that are from here and remember the oppression and the systemic racism and the genocide and the Holocaust that indigenous people have suffered since colonizers first invaded our territories. And I also want to say that we stand in solidarity. We're here today in solidarity because Black Lives Matter! Black lives matter, and they really do. Indigenous lives matter. We really do. And our brown brothers and sisters, our sisters from the South and our relatives from the South, there's many of them that would love to be out here today. But because of this oppressive government, their families are being threatened if they come out, that they'll be separated from their families. And so I want to remember those relatives too today. Okay, we're going to sing a song to open up the event. And this is the Women's Warrior song. This is a song that is sung, and I won't tell you all the details, but we sing it in honor of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in Two-Spirit. Today, I want to tell you the background also. It's a call to action. It's a call to action. So we're calling everybody to action, and we're remembering our ancestors. We're remembering those that suffered and sacrificed their lives for us to be standing here today. And so we're going to start with that, and then we'll be done. And we just want to thank the organizers for giving us this much time. And that is all I have to say. Katiayo.
Thank you. Okay, now I would like everyone to pay close attention to this beautiful person that's going to walk towards me slowly or quickly. This is Jaza. As you can see, Jaza is a beautiful black human being who is wearing a beautiful dashiki from Africa, from Ghana. I just want people to remember before Jaza sings, what she's going to do, that, I can't remember who I heard say this recently. I think it was actually a singer. She was saying that she's black and she's in the streets and she's been chanting Black Lives Matter, and that at a certain point, like, it just becomes a chant that doesn't really mean anything, but you're literally chanting for us and for Jaza, right? So please show some honor and respect to our Black National Anthem.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that our dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that our present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory, yeah, is won.
All right, do people know why we're marching today?
Yeah.
Well, I know you know, but I'm still gonna tell you, okay? One of the reasons that we're marching today is because it's time for City Council to vote to defund and reinvest. Defund SPD and reinvest in the Black community and in real safety for all of us. Also, because due to our movement in defense of Black lives, 7 of 9 council members pledged to defund SPD by 50%. But we still need to make sure that they follow through, right? Because council members will start taking votes today to defund what's left of SPD's 2020 budget, and we need to make sure they vote the right way. Everybody say, vote the right way. Vote the right way. All right. Sounds like church a little bit. Everybody turn to your neighbor and say, vote the right way. Okay. Why are we starting this march at the youth jail? Because the fights to defund SPD and to close the youth jail are connected. Because even as we shrink our police force and invest in black community, we must be working to close the youth jail and invest in our black youth. Because we want our youth free, right? We don't want them tried as adults and held in adult jails or placed on another form of home with jail electronic monitoring, right? All right, so that's just part of it. There's definitely more. There's more reasons why we're here, right? Would you like to hear the other reasons why we're here? Okay. Well, we're here to put pressure. Let's see. Look. I'm reading, so just give me a second. Just hold on. Okay. So, I guess the real question is, what comes next? First, we have to keep pressure on them until the votes are completed next week. Stay on the streets and in the streets. Keep calling and emailing your council members and calling in for public comment. Let them know you're watching. We're watching, right? The fight doesn't end with 2020 budget vote this week and next. We need to keep the pressure on to make sure the mayor and police chief actually make cuts city council votes for. And we need to make sure that city leaders use the 2021 budget, a fight which starts in 6 weeks, dang, that's close, 6 weeks, to make even deeper cuts to SPD's budget and the budget of the courts, jails, and prosecutors. Right now, we're going to welcome a good friend. Aaron, come step up here. Oh, you can, okay. So Aaron's going to speak for us. Again, another reason why we're in the streets, right, is because of black people. Thank you. I'll be sweating up here. Okay. I'm going to let you go ahead.
Thank you.
This is Aaron, everybody.
Hey, everybody. I'm Aaron Counts, co-director of Creative Justice, which means I'm privileged and lucky enough to get to make art with young people that challenges buildings like that and the ideas behind them. Safety first. You know, about 6 or 7 years ago when we were sitting around tables negotiating the idea that became Creative Justice, you know, we sat with prosecutors, judges, a lot of systems involved folks, but really the spirit of why we were in the room was because of people like y'all and the organizers at YUYR and Nunley Youth Jail that really created the energy that allowed Creative Justice to happen. So the energy works. What you're doing works. We appreciate you all. You know, I know there's a lot of folks now that probably want to pat themselves on the back and say they have been doing the right thing all along. But we're not going to let them co-opt and take credit for the work of the people. It's the tireless activism, the education, the direct actions like this that really are what make the change happen. And so we're going to keep the pressure on. We're going to not let Dow take credit for closing this. We're not going to wait 5 years. We don't need to wait 5 years. We don't need increased surveillance of our youth via electronic monitoring, which is another form of a cage. What we do need is essential services in the community. We need housing stability. We need food security. And we're going to keep the pressure on until we get those things that we need so that we can keep all of us healthy and thriving in a wonderful and equitable Seattle. Thank you.
What's up, y'all? Make some more noise for Aaron Katz. So, here's what's gonna happen. Was it National Lawyers Guild? It's national? Okay. National Lawyers Guild. Do y'all know the phone number? What's the phone number? Okay, some of y'all know the actual number, and that freaks me out a little bit. But the number
Funny to
is
see a lot of people read it off of their body.
Okay, try me. You've always wanted to say it to someone. See, now you can remember. Write it down on your arm. 206. Okay. Not okay like the passive aggressive okay with the AY. It's like the okay, like I know. Okay. All right. So 206. Okay. Try me. All right.
All right, up next we have Trimarco from Creative Passageways. Where are you? Hey. What did I say? Oh, I was getting Creative Justice and Community Passageways confused. Sorry.
Sorry.
How's everybody doing today? My name is Marco Green, and I work for Community Passageway. I come here with an agenda today to basically defund the police. And I'm going to tell you a backstory. So a couple of years ago, I was behind those walls. And a lot of people in there don't have resources they need. A lot of people in there don't have faith. And a lot of people in there stop trying. And for a young man like myself to see that, it's hard, you know? And there's a lot of people like me that's been in that situation. So now that I'm older and I got resources and there's programs like Community Passageway, those help me and they can help more youth. Instead of putting the money where, you know, we're getting harmed, how about we put it in something positive? You know, today, somebody told me something. It was a prosecutor, actually. I'm still fighting my case right now. It's been almost 2 full years. And the prosecutor told me, he was like, basically, this is what I got from it. What is he going up there for? He's fighting charges right now. Like, basically, he ain't worth shit. But I'm going to tell you today, I am worth. My life matters. And it's crazy because at a point in time, I actually believed that. But that's what they wanted me to believe. And I'm going to live my life through my own perspective. And I feel like if someone could feel like they could tell me who I am or what I could do, they need to do something inside looking out. So they need to look at themselves. Defunding the police will be like, I can't even explain it. Like, if we did that, you know how much money they get? They get millions of dollars. If we put those into organizations that could help youth and people in the community, I promise you, things will really change. I know this because I'm one of those people. You know, when I had actual resources, I didn't grow up with a dad, so I had nobody to show me what to do. That's why a lot of people in there are in there right now. They don't have resources. They don't have someone to grow them up and take baby steps. They want to hurry up and be a man and prove themselves. And a lot of times that's not the right way to go. I wish I was able to live my childhood. I wasn't. But now I can't go back in the past. I can only alleviate and look forward to the future. So I want you guys to keep on doing this, keep on coming out here, and keep supporting. Really. I love you guys.
Trimarco, thank you. All right, I just want to give everyone a couple reminders and just some things to think about. One is please stay hydrated. Okay. And the second one is if you are going to take pictures of people, I'm sure lots of people are aware of this, but if you are going to take pictures of people, like let's say their signs or their shirts, it's good to ask for permission firstly. Secondly, if you cannot ask their permission, don't take a picture of their face, period. Also, be careful of like people's license plates being in the picture. We know the police, are a big ass gang. They'll come find you, right? So please don't take pictures of people's license plates or faces. And always, if you can, ask first if you can take a picture. All right. Was there something else? Oh yeah, I got it. Stay hydrated. Okay. So up next is going to be Sayla T and Lay speaking on behalf of James and Jerome.
Hello everyone, my name is Selma. I was asked to tell the story of James and Jerome Tafusia, but sorry, let me catch my breath. Okay. As a Tongan indigenous woman, the way we open the floor to storytelling is we invite everyone. So what we say is tupa hell and everyone claps. So tupa hell, tupa hell. And what that means is we invite you to be present, not just physically, but we bring all of your spirituality with you, all your ancestors, all your past experiences. We invite all of that. So when you clap, that is saying, we're here. You're letting the speaker know that you're here. So tupa hell, tupa hell. The next part of that is I say koe whananga, which means I'm going to tell you a story. And the response to that is, you're going to say, Isa. Well, you're going to clap twice and then say Isa. So you're going to go, koe whananga. And then you're going to clap 2 times and say Isa. So, koe whananga. Isa. Ooh, okay. Malie. So, we're going to do it all, we're going to put it all together. So, tupa hell. Tupa hell. Koe whananga. Isa. Hey. And the reason why we say Isa is because you're letting them know I'm here. And I'm ready to receive whatever message is being said. So with that being said, as an oceanic person from the islands are not separated by the ocean like we are taught in the schools. In our islands, we're taught that the water actually is the space that connects each and every one of us. So, today I'm going to tell you the story of my little brothers, not as an organizer, not as someone who comes representing some organization, not as an advocate. I'm going to tell you the story of these 2 young men who were locked up in 2016 for the shooting that is known as the jungle shooting in the homeless encampment. And the narrative that they spread on the news is that they were there in order to collect birthday money from a drug dealer for their mother. How fucked up is it that the story of migration and survivorship has been tainted by the fucking media, and now they are being punished for trying to survive? So when I say defund the police, I mean motherfuckers, let my brothers go, because separation is unnatural. That's why we believe the islands are connected, not disconnected. So, with that being said, sorry, I'm like so in my feelings. Like before I got here, I was crying. I was totally crying. Because I grew up 2 blocks away from these boys and I never knew them. but I grew up 2 blocks away from them. It wasn't until last year when FIGHT and API-CAG asked if there was some Pacific Islanders from White Center to come in and sit in this meeting that I was like, oh sure, because my father always told me that as human beings, we are responsible for one another's well-being. And if you're 2 blocks away from me, what the hell? What am I doing sitting in the comfort of my home knowing you're in your shape, you know? So last year I got the chance to know these boys. And they're actually men now. They've been sitting in there, just like his story was, they've been sitting in there with no charges for 4 fucking years, no access to education, no access to resources. They've just been sitting waiting for trial, which they're being sentenced tomorrow. So I'm gonna let Ray talk about all of that with y'all. But I'm just letting y'all know there's this concept that if you see someone do a crime, when you see someone do a crime, you don't separate the crime as the crime. You see what led up to it. That's what this punitive justice system fucking does. Sorry, I can go on for days, and I'll sit in a car and smoke you out and fucking talk about this shit all motherfucking day. But I'm gonna pass the mic over to Lay and let her go in on the stats.
I don't know how to follow because she be hyping it up. My name is Lay, also known as Sella. Like my sister said, we are here as family, we are here as human beings, and we are here to talk about James and Jerome and also their little brother Jojo. Not only are they being sentenced tomorrow, they're trying to give them over 47 years. So you got to remember, these boys were 15, 16, and 17, I believe, when this all happened, and they want to charge them as adults. We want to say fuck that. We don't want adult crime, okay? They are not a DOC number. These are human beings. These are boys. These are somebody's family. They became our little brothers. When we go there and we sit down through that plexiglass at King County, they are just boys. They are not men. They were stolen. Their childhood has been stolen from them. Where CPS made them wards of the state and didn't take care of them and allowed them to be out there in the freaking jungle, amongst everything else that's going on, they were fighting for their lives. They were doing the best that they can do. But when you have teachers step up and say that these boys are passionate about art, passionate about music, that's not a number. They're not a DOC number. We are not a statistic. So just like during the trial, when they didn't want our PI community, our Pacific Islander community, or any community to show up for our boys, we want to let them know tomorrow we are going to be there. Because we want you to know Soderbergh. We want you to know Judge O'Donnell. We are watching you. We are watching you thinking that you can put our boys behind cages for 40, 60, 90 years. Because you think that their circumstance of being in the jungle, trying to be with each other because they know that's their family, that their siblings and their mother, regardless of situation, is their family. We're watching you. You cannot put them behind bars because community, we will support them. Defund the fucking police. Because if you can't take care of ours, we will. On that note, we want to play a song. I'm sorry, I can go on and on because, man, I forgot. I was so hyped from Stella that, man, I forgot. To the Tafalosia family, I speak with respect and I come humbly because we know how our community is. When our elders speak, we have to listen. But there's those of us that are not part of the family, but we are part of your community. We will speak up for our boys. We are here to tell you all, family, friends, community, because this is community. We are here to back them up. We are going to fight whatever sentencing they want to give tomorrow, and we want all of them free, regardless who they are. We have a song that Jerome wrote for his brothers called To My Brothers, James and Jerome, that we want to play because, like their teacher said, they have the passion, they have art, they have creativity in their blood. And we want to play a little piece that he wanted. And not only that, but these brothers also told us, don't forget us. So please do not forget James, Jerome, and Joseph.
What you just heard was a song that was sung over the phone from jail, the youth jail, for the family.
I'm shaking my head because that hurts to hear, somebody basically crying out from jail in the form of music. And neither one of you should say you're sorry for feeling. And I know it's just a part of the English language, the language of the oppressor, for us to apologize for having feelings. Like, it's common for us to say, I'm sorry, I'm crying, I'm sorry, I'm feeling something. But the truth is that movements happen because of feelings and emotions. I mean, part of the reason we're out here is like one of those logical things, right, like math. But we're also here because we can take math and think about it critically and have emotions. Like we're able to use like a spectrum of thinking and thoughts and care, and so our emotions are important. So thank you. Next up, we have Carissa from Youth Rights Ordinance. Yes, clap, please.
Hey everybody, I just want to start by saying thank you and much respect to everyone who spoke before me. and everyone who's here to join us today. My name is Carissa Morikawa, and I'm wanting to talk to y'all today about something called the Youth Rights Ordinance, which in short would ensure that young people, youth, children, have a public defender present with them when being questioned by the police. This is extremely important for protecting young people's rights. You know, as we stand here outside of this building, my heart is drawn to all of the young people who are currently incarcerated behind those walls. And my mind keeps thinking about one specific person, a 16-year-old boy who is currently incarcerated there. And I want to tell you a quick story about him because it really highlights the importance of this youth rights ordinance. So in the fall of last year, he was in jail there for a couple of weeks. And throughout that time, he went to court numerous times asking for release. And each time the prosecutor said, no, I object to you being released, and he went back to jail. And then one day in October, he went to court, asked for release, and this time the prosecutor said, okay, you can be released, and the judge ordered for him to be released. So you can imagine his family and him were really excited. He hadn't been home for 3 weeks, and they were finally going to have their brother and their son home. So he's stepping out of his jumpsuit and back into his clothes, getting ready to be back with his family. His mentor comes, picks him up, they sign him out, and he's walking up the stairs with a big smile on his face, and he exits the building. And as he enters into this parking lot, waiting for him are several police officers. They stop him and they tell him that they're investigating him for a crime and that they're going to bring him to the police station to question him. I got a phone call from his mom who was panicking. She was, what's going on? Where are they taking him? Why did they release him in the first place? And then it clicked for me. So a few years ago, ordinance similar to this one was passed that made it so that police officers could no longer go into the jail and question young people without an attorney. So the only way they could question him without his attorney is if he was released first. And so the police officers who were handling his case and the prosecutors who were handling his case actually found a legal loophole to a law that was put in place to protect youth's rights. Yeah. And this is a young person who was 15 years old at the time, whose English was not his first language and he needed an interpreter in court, and who was already extremely confused by the criminal legal system processes. One minute he thinks he's going home, the next minute he's alone at a police station being interrogated without any adult nearby him. And we know that this is just one of many stories like this, and he is one of many youth whose rights are not being protected. And so this is why we need to pass this youth rights ordinance to prevent things like this from happening in the future. So in a couple of weeks, both the Seattle City Council and the King County Council will be voting on whether or not to pass this youth rights ordinance. So we need everyone here and everyone in Seattle and King County to be calling their city council members, their county council members, and telling them to vote yes for this ordinance. There will also probably be an opportunity for public comment, and there will be more information to come on that, so stay tuned. But please call your council members and tell them that you support the youth rights ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you, Carissa. Did you say where we could find more information about Decriminalize Seattle, KingCountyEquity.org, and Equity Now? You guys, I'm not perfect. Okay, sorry. I think I'm funny, so when I say a joke, it would be helpful for my self-esteem too.
The links to where they can find more information about what we were just talking about. Okay.
All right. So, has anyone ever participated in the Everyday March or the? Is it? Oh, we just want to call it EDM March. Okay, EDM. So people have. Okay, so we have some organizers from the march. We would like to welcome them up to speak. So go ahead and give them a hand.
Y'all have some familiar faces.
Okay, we're just going to start off by introducing ourselves. My name is Nicole. I'm Sophia Tacola. I'm Tati Swain.
My name is TK. True.
I'm Mara.
Every day.
It's not on. Okay, so you guys know our demands in Seattle, right? Do you guys know the demands champs? Okay. Well, we can go ahead and run through that here. Defund SPD, how much? 15% at least. Defund SPD, how much? 15% at least. Because whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Where should that money go? To black community. And where should that money go? To black community. Because whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. 3, who should you free? All the protesters. 3, who should you free? All the protesters. Because whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Don't forget number 4. No new youth jail. Don't forget number 4. No new youth jail. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. What do we want for number 5? Jenny Durkin to resign. What do we want for number 5? Jenny Durkin to resign. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. Y'all did great. So something about us is we have been marching every day, as well as not just marching in the evening, but marching on the morning. You will hear more about that, and picketing throughout the day. And as we are marching lately, we have been going to county council members' houses, city council members' houses, and talking to them and engaging them in conversations that they have not been having with the community that has elected them in the first place. We have been holding them accountable and making sure that Black voices are at the forefront. Black voices are what is leading our marches. Black voices are who we are fighting for, Black community and Black children. So I encourage all of you guys to come to our marches, follow our Instagram pages, and be a part of the conversations. Our Instagram is Seattle Evening March. The morning march is Morning March Seattle. Our Facebook page is Everyday March Seattle. You follow one, everything else will pop up.
Listen, so if you guys want to follow the evening march on Instagram, we're Seattle Evening March on Instagram. The morning march is Morning March Seattle on Instagram. And then we have a picket in the afternoon, which is picket, the number 4, change.Seattle, all on Instagram.
And then the Twitter for the morning march is Morning March SEA. The Twitter for the morning march is Morning March SEA.
Okay, just so everyone is aware, it is August and the kids are going back to school online. We have been doing a school drive, which is amazing. So many people have donated. We are going to be giving like laptops, hotspots, tablets, and school supplies to kids in the South End and the Central District that don't have the finances. I would like to be more clear, this is for Black kids. If you do have a kid in need for anything, we will post when we will be giving all of this stuff out, so just stay updated for that. And the way to donate is you can come to our marches, drop off material. Also, our Venmo, which is EDM Seattle, and that is also our Cash App.
I literally got a 30-second spiel, and that's all I'm gonna have. I just want to literally reiterate that the youth is the future. Dead serious. Us adults don't really matter no more. It's not about, we're not doing this for us no more. At least I'm not. I stopped doing this for me since I started. It's about these kids, the generations after us. So all you guys out here, speak life into these kids. Speak life into these kids. Speak life into these kids. Literally. Because that's how you keep them out of places like that. Literally speaking life into these kids is how you keep them out of places like that in the jail downtown and in the prison system. I've been through that education street prison pipeline. I've been through it. Now let's save some of these kids. Let's save the rest of these kids from going through it. Let's save these kids from going through it. That's it. That's all I got.
Wow, it snows now.
Thank you. I just want to stop and say thank you to everybody being here in support and solidarity. This is very, very beautiful to see our community come together. But just to speak off of what TK said, there's a statistic that I learned because I've been incarcerated since I was 10 years old in the juvenile justice system and onward, numerous times, all the way up into prison. So I always tell myself when I get out, I'm never coming back, I'm never coming back, I'm never coming back. And I said that to myself a million times, and I always went back. But then I learned of a statistic that said if you can go 3 years without catching a new criminal charge, you're 95% likely of never reoffending again. So I kept that in my mind. And for this first year, I got myself off of probation. The second year, I got myself a job. And the third year, I had myself in housing. I could not have done that, though, without community support and having somebody in my corner, because I didn't know nothing else but the streets. So if we defund SPD by at least 50%, there's a lot more success stories that will come out of it in the future. So it's everybody's integrity job to do due diligence as a civilian to our children and the youth. Please, make sure that you stay tuned, because this is growing.
So, as you guys all know, we do have morning marches that start at 8 a.m. and we do morning cleanups. This week we've been in the South End. So if you stay tuned, if you follow us on Instagram, if you follow us on Twitter, we really want you guys out there so we can do community cleanups. Make sure our community stays clean. Make sure we support these communities. All right, thank you so much.
We all we need.
We all we need. We all we need. We got our back. We got our back.
Thank you so much. So EDM, I'm just wondering if while we're getting ready to do the march, if you all will actually stay right here for a little bit, not right this second. Yeah. Sorry. To lead us in like get people hyped up with some chants and stuff. Okay. Thank you. They got that. Okay. Is it okay if I do a poem real quick? So I'm gonna do this poem, but my name's Chelsea, by the way, again, if I didn't already introduce myself. So after I do this poem, or I should say after we do this poem, okay? And the reason I say that is because all of the energy that's out there, that's generated while I'm doing a poem, is actually becomes a part of the piece, right? Like people know about spoken word, right? That was a weak response. Let me hear everybody say free them all. Free them all! All right. So, I'm just going to take these hoops off because they're playing with me. Okay. Thank you for laughing, whoever. Yes, yes. All right, so after I do this poem, we're actually gonna get the march started, but people have to prepare to be in the front. So EDM is gonna be up here doing some chants before we do that, and then when the march gets moving, you all will know it. Okay? Is everybody ready to march? Does everybody have water? It's like 3% of the crowd has water. Okay. I'm sitting on a stool inside of Safeway, right across from Rainier and Henderson, staring down aisle 12. There are 4 items displayed that I can pick up and walk out with if I have just enough change. Greeting cards, digestive help, pain relief, and cough and cold. I assume I can find some relief for my newfound back pain, maybe some Tums or Imodium to ease my lactose intolerance, but I don't think I'll find a card that I like. Nor will I find a card that will ease the suffering Trayvon Martin's mother feels while she lies awake at night. Nor will I find a card that will ease the suffering Charlene Lyle's mother feels while she lies awake at night. Nor will I find a card that will ease the suffering Tatiana Jefferson's mother feels while she lies awake at night. Nor will I find a card that will ease the suffering Tony McDade's mother feels while she lies awake at night. The sound of racial slurs murmured in the folds of her sheets, the kind that rise and fall in her chest, growing into a chaotic mantra on television screens across the U.S. And I hope I don't find that race card sitting there on that colorful shelf, waiting to commit a suicidal dive into my hands. There is not a card that embodies all truth, so please don't go long and throw it in my face. There's a boy standing next to me, brown leaf-dusted skin, mild in manner. I ear hustle. Hear him say he's a mama's boy, flowers his lips on his mother's cheeks before he leaves kind of mama's boy. He admits his parents are his perfect roommates, and that is why he will never leave the garden. I wonder if there is a bullet waiting for him somewhere. A pointer finger hiccuping on a trigger, itching for an echo in our ears, pulling our skins more and more distant from each other. The truth is we need help. We need someone standing on every urban, suburban, inner city corner, passing out words that are life jackets, possibly in novel form, the prologue written to self-appointed neighborhood watchmen and the police. The first lines would read, "Stop. You are pointing your gun at a figment of your imagination. Not all black people are monsters. Some of them flutter their lips on their mother's cheeks before they leave. Some of them make perfect roommates. Police, tuck away your polymer toys. We all know that you hold in your holsters the kind of heavy metal that really kills kids. I am not against guns. I am just pro second chances, and I have nothing to give these mothers because blood is not a handkerchief. And I'm just sitting on a stool inside a Safeway right across from Rainier and Henderson, staring down aisle 12. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I don't mind at all.
Yeah, one more time for Chelsea Richardson.
So here's how it's about to go down. I apologize for pointing in advance. However, if my finger crosses you, that means if you're in the street, you need to make a path for folks to be able to come and get to the front. All right? So like if you're in that, make a path for folks to get in front. I'm going to go the other way, just in case you didn't see it. I look like an awesome temptation right now. It's amazing. Just make that path for me. Thank you so much. And then folks are going to get up in front. And then we got some folks doing the
Yeah, okay.
I know you guys are saying there's a couple thousand people here at least.
Okay. All right, so EDM is going to come up here. Yeah? Not ready yet? And we can play music. We can. Can you come up here and help introduce you? What's going on? Because I sent on the list. Got it. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, as long as we just touch base a couple times.
Oh, I gotta give the mic away. Okay.
We're going to piggyback people too. The Converge up here, they're pretty well seen, as well as we are as well. Concrete. So
Okay.
we've kind of been with the EDM. We've been here every day since day one.
Yeah, so like I'm freelance and I'm not with anybody right yet, but I'm kind of working with some people at Vice. But I just haven't fully got established with them. I'm connecting with them tomorrow. I feel nervous being out here by myself.
I know, right? Well, I feel you though, but yeah. It's a good question. Yeah, why don't you ask them real fast?
Where's Shake? It's my boy though.
What's up? Good to see you.
Yeah, so this is grenades right now.
Concrete boarding? Yeah, you can scan that. I'll take you to one of our 85 different platforms. Then you just go to the website if you want to get links to everything we've been doing. And we've been down embedded in Portland and up here in the shop since day one.
Y'all can't get serious. This shit got me furious. You talking about gang exclusives? We hang from the same music. I see that article, the media is translucent. Couldn't see through it, never gotta think twice.
at least. 15% at least. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Where should the money go? To black communities. Where should the money go? To black communities. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Free, who should you free? All the protesters. Free, who should you free? All the protesters. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Don't forget number 4. No new youth jail. Don't forget number 4. No new youth jail. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
So what you're looking at over there is actually it's the new site for the youth jail that they're starting to build, and then next door you have the youth jail. This is one of the things that Decrim Seattle, SPD, Seattle Police, and the King County Equity Now are looking to have put a halt to the new youth jails, as well as the EDM.
Yes, I spoke to you. Yes. I got your B. Black Lives Matter. All day. Every day. All day. Every day. All day. Every day. All day. Every day. SPD, you say take accountability. SPD, take accountability. SPD, take accountability. SPD, take accountability. SPD, take accountability. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
We have some points of information for you to get into.
No KKK, no racist USA. No cops, no KKK, no racist USA. No cops, no KKK, no racist USA. No cops, no KKK, no racist USA. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Whose lives matter? Black lives matter. 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 Every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. What's up, boss? How's it going?
Good to see you. You guys are amazing.
KKK, no racist USA. I said no cops. No KKK, no racist USA. No cops. No KKK, no racist USA. Black Lives Matter.
So what you have here is several thousand people that are marching under the Decrim SPD, the King County Equity Now, the BLM, you have the EDM, you've got so many different mergings of groups that have been on this march, on this protest, and on this movement for a long time now. And you're seeing an incredible showing right now. It's an amazing turnout. And this march right here is started over here by the new, what's going to be in the background over there, the new youth jail, which they're one of the demands to shut that down, stop putting kids in cages, as they say. This is going to make its way all the way to City Hall. Right now, we are in downtown Seattle. For everyone that's tuning in, we're not in Portland right now. We're back home, following this impressive grouping of marches. I mean, this goes all the way down around the block. I mean, hope you can see how many people are here. It's an incredible show up. And at the front of it all, we have our EDM, our Everyday March leaders, which is incredible to see, between Tati, TK, and everyone else. You guys are amazing, and we're just so proud to see that you guys are out here doing this every day, making sure that your message is heard. And if anything, this is an amazing showing of just how powerful that message has been received by so many different groups. Try to keep up, y'all. You got it? All right. Staying hydrated with the Water Brigade. Get him. making sure people stay safe on the side streets. You do see a presence out here from the King County Metro, which are doing their best to monitor the routes as they travel. For anyone just tuning in, we are downtown Seattle right now, making our way from the King County Youth Jail to City Hall. What you have is a combination of Decrim SPD. You've got the King County Equity Now, the EDM up front here, the Everyday March, kind of leading the hype chants. And then behind them is several thousand people that are here in support and solidarity for this movement. And it's hard to catch the full scope of this. This march line goes back, sidewalk to sidewalk, at least 3 to 4 city blocks. It's led up front here by members of the Duwamish tribe that are representing that they're part of the biopic individuals that are being represented here in this march, spoken for. So, hey, if you guys can hear me, I'm just going to give a quick breakdown of what the King County Equity Now, some of the demands for that group. One of them is to halt all predatory development in the central area and other historic areas of color. That includes the development on Yesler and Terrace West, the development of the Washington State Department of Commerce's area proposal for the SVI, or the Seattle Vocational Institute, halt the development of the King County Records Site Project on 13th and Yesler. They're demanding to establish a $1 billion anti-gentrification and land acquisition fund. What that means is they want to help the black communities acquire property in the central area and support black economic development. One of the demands here is also to redistribute $180 million from the Seattle Police Department SPD budget. The reason that what they're talking about there is Seattle right now is facing it's about a $300 million budget shortfall due to COVID-19. King County Equity Now kind of feels that at least half of the SPD's $63 million should be used to cover the disparity, as opposed to taking those funds from education or scaling back on much needed medical and social services in communities that are desperately in need of that help. You can see that LA has actually done just that. They were able to actually, due to the movement, pull $150 million from the LAPD for a direct investment into communities of color, which kind of leads right into this next one, which is to invest at least $50 million from the SPD directly into black communities. They want to sever all existing contracts and financial ties between Seattle Public Schools and the SPD. You see it's been done in places like Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Denver, Portland, amongst many others. The belief is that police presence in schools is it just leads to hypercriminalization and a perception that students are criminals and not children. It's certainly something that we can all get behind, because we've seen a lot of the kind of the brutality cases between the police enforcement in the school districts and the students. They would like to push for accepting existing proposals from Black-led community-based organizations to maximize underutilized public land, including the decommissioned Fire Station 6 on 23rd and Yesler, Seattle Housing Authority operation site on Martin Luther King Jr. Way South and Dearborn, the Paramount Nursing Home, and the vacant Sound Transit lot on MLK Jr. Way South and South Angeline Street. And the last one is to drop all charges against protesters. So we're gonna go catch up with everyone now. Sorry, I kind of fell behind a little bit while I was reading that to you guys, but I think it's important for people to kind of know what exactly the demands are here and what people are trying to accomplish, amongst many other things. But we're gonna slide in now. We're kind of at the back of the line, but like I said, I'm here dolo right now, guys, so sorry. Usually I'd be running the other side, but we're cutting across right now. We're coming through Bourne and 12th, making our way to City Hall. We're taking the CD district, or the CD, which is Central District here in Seattle route. And we're kind of making our way down, which is in the shadow of the VA hospital. Another situation here where you have a lot of war vets and a lot of people that are dealing with psychological issues, drug issues. And the homeless rate here is definitely something palpable due to the fact that we are a major city. That is something you see as well with the request from even the EDM, which is that defund SPD by 50%. What they're looking to do is reappropriate those funds into social programs that'll help the homeless individuals and kind of get them the social services that they need to kind of keep them out of the jails, which is a big issue, especially when they're looking to shut down this King County jailhouse right down here in downtown, which apparently is on the books right now. Now they are talking about shutting down the youth jail within 5 years, and I believe the idea behind that for them is that they want to recoup their profit or their investment. So they're saying not in 5 years, right now is when they want that shut down. So here, I'm gonna take a look at this crowd over here. Yeah, I get shit for it. You know what's going on. Since you watch, you're going to do me a favor. You're going to pull up we got a substitute holder right now. So I can put my mask, y'all. That's what's happening.
You say black felons. Who do we protect? Who do we protect? Who do we protect? Who do we protect? You say black trans women. Who do we protect? In the back. Do you have to be black to do that?
weekend. We're gonna do some stuff down in with some of the other students down there, with some of the other cities that are going crazy down there. Yeah, down in like 15. Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah. And that's the youth jail that I was talking about. They were thinking they wanted to shut down in 5 years, but and the idea behind that was that they were trying to get some of their investment back on the youth jail, which, to be clear, they're looking to make sure that it's not about the profit or the investment, but about the people.
Don't be a coward.
trying to call everyone out of their apartments right now to come down and join this march, which is already several thousand people deep.
be fooled by the props that I got. I'm still judging from the past. Don't be fooled by the odds that I get. I'm still judging from the past. The odds that I got. So this is what I'm thinking now. Don't be fooled by the odds that I got. I'm still judging from the past. Don't be fooled by the odds that I got. I'm still Jenny from the past. Alright, one more time. Don't be fooled by the odds that I got. I'm still Jenny from the past. Hey, that's what it is. I like this one that I wanted to share. Who's street? Who's street?
So we're downtown Seattle right now, guys, on this march, heading from the King County Youth Jail to City Hall. And there's several thousand people deep. This has been organized by Decrim SPD and the King County Equity Now. Also the EDM, or the Everyday March. You see those leaders right over here. The Duwamish tribe has a strong presence here of their council members, which is what you can hear in that right there. Who Streets, Duwamish Streets, as a native tribe from the Seattle area here.
Thank you. I'm gonna say some names.
If somebody would hit up Ian or Shay, that'd be great, so that we can grab that extra battery pack. I'd really appreciate it.
3 times. Yeah, 3 times. So I'm gonna say it the first time, and then you're gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and then I'll say their name. So, just for example, I'm gonna say John T. Williams. Say his name.
John T. Williams.
Say his name.
John T. Williams.
Say his name.
John T. Williams.
Say his name.
John T. Williams.
Stone Child Cheese Stick. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Renee Davis. Say her name.
Renee Davis.
Say her name.
Renee Davis.
Say her name.
Renee Davis.
Sorry if I said that wrong. Okay, and how about Charlena Lyles? Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. 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 Breonna Taylor. That's all the names I got. Thank you, Joanna. I want to tell you guys, those names that I just said.
When I get down, I'll get it.
Those names are indigenous people.
Got it. When I get down, I'll get you.
Those names are brown people's lives that were taken by lethal police force, by police officers, that are meant to protect us, civil servants that take the lives of our people, that take the lives of, just like what we were talking at the youth jail. You know, because it's not race, but yet people who make up the smallest percentage of every demographic. And that is erasure. That is because the invasion of colonization. That is because we have a bunch of illegal immigrants that came over here almost 600 years ago. That came over here and they were lost. They accidentally came here and they were actually going to die. They were actually sick. They couldn't even feed themselves. They didn't know how to survive. So we took care of them. For the good people that we are, for the good way that we are, we took care of them, and we helped them, we nurtured them, and through that time period, when they got well, they had already started plotting. They already started plotting about the next thing that they were going to do. They've seen a rich culture, they've seen rich land. All right, they were already running from a silence that they were going through, a thing that they were being oppressed in their own country. They came here, and then they oppressed our people. And then the genocide of our people. Okay? So this, now what we're talking about,
now, the only reason you're seeing a split in the crowd here is not because there's two different ideologies. It's just because there's a big-ass train in the way. So I don't want anyone getting any confusion about that one. So again, this is the Decrim SPD and the King County Equity Now joint march from the King County Youth Jail up on 12th and Alder down to City Hall. We're right down on 7th and James. I couldn't tell you exactly what street we're on right now. But we're right down here in definitely down in the International District. And I can't see much through my mask right here. Jackson. So we're up between 7th and 8th and Jackson right now. Well, I am. And I'm going to hop down and catch up with everybody. Can I grab one of those?
Yeah, of course.
Good looking, brother.
I got a big one too.
So, a big one, you said?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, let me see it. Let me do it. Bro, I'll let you take that one, man.
We'll keep it. You can get some.
Oh, okay, yeah, give it. There we go.
I'm gonna hold this and get this.
Yeah.
I think I already, already got a good shot of it the other night, but
Cool. Good looking. Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing today? You good?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm okay. Well, I'm hot.
For sure.
Hot and lonely right now because my team's not with me. Oh, I got one right here. Yeah. But thank you. We'll talk to you, man. Hey. Sorry, y'all. I got to catch up. So, one thing I can't do is redeem face pants for y'all right now because I'm not able to see comments while I'm doing this. But I'm just assuming the face pants have been played. So here we go. Also, I've been yelled at by a couple people in the crowd already. So, yeah, gotta take care of them. But we're making our way down Jackson Street right now. We're crossing Maynard. Well, I'm crossing Maynard at the moment, and what you got is legit. Probably, honestly, I'm terrible with numbers and crowds. So if anybody would want to make a speculation, or if anyone's got an estimate as to how many people are actually in the crowd right now, I would love to know. I'm sure everyone else would as well, but several thousand at least.
The de-escalation, we need more than just de-escalation. We need them to learn a whole new way of working with our community. Oscar did not speak English very well. He did not understand. Some here that don't have their papers or their citizenship are very afraid of being sent back. So he was afraid. That should never be a reason for the police to escalate a situation to shooting him 8 times. That's not okay. So thank you.
You know what my skin was like?
We literally are the only ones who care. The police do not care, dead ass. They do not care. They've never cared. They're not here to protect and serve us. They're here to protect and serve themselves. Let's be real. That's why 82% of their budget is spent on paying themselves. Literally, dead ass. Not kidding, 82% is spent on paying themselves. So, that's why it's on us to come beat our feet to the streets every single day to defund these assholes and put that money back in the black communities, black and brown communities. They literally don't have to do that. That is our responsibility, that is our duty as citizens of Seattle to defund these assholes we call police officers and take the money and put it in black and brown communities. That is on us. Everybody has to pick a side. The fact that we're all here right now shows me which side everybody is on. So that means all you allies here need to have those conversations with your racist family members and your racist ass friends and make them pick a side. Literally. It's either Black Lives Matter or whatever. Go to hell. But literally, make the people you surround yourself with pick a side. Because literally everybody's picking a side in this world right now. And you're not going to be able to tell them. Because we are all here together. So I know it's going to
What's up? Good, hey, good to see you. You doing all right? Yeah, I'm good. All right. Okay, we're downtown Seattle right now, guys. So if anyone's just tuning in, we're on a march from the King County Youth Jail, the new site for the King County Youth Jail, which is one of the steps in effort to get this thing shut down right now. And good looking. And that's part of what this protest is about right here. I got my back pocket. Thank you, though, my friend. Appreciate you. And we're heading down to City Hall. This is King County Equity Now, Decrim SBD, the EDM, the Everyday March. Again, it's several thousand deep. We've got to see some speeches from tribal council members from the Duwamish tribe, from the EDM themselves. There's some really powerful pieces that have been put out here. The stories that have been told about some of the youth that are actually in the jails up behind us, up on 12th and Alder in the youth jail there. The demands, I'll go over those again when we get down to City Hall, guys. I got them in my back pocket, but that's the King County Equity Now has a list of demands that I will run over, some of which are to take $180 million from the King County's SPD's $363 million remaining budget and apply that into relief for the $300 million Seattle deficit that we're in due to COVID-19, instead of taking that away from schools and social programs that are very much needed in this area. Amongst that was, of course, defund SPD by 50%, which was that number. Also, a $50 million direct influx of money from the SPD into black communities to stop the predatory development of the Central District and other places, other black communities. There's a couple more. Sorry, guys. They're in my pocket. I'll have to get them when I get a second. I'm going to try to climb down off of this thing right now and not break my neck. So bear with me for a moment. It's a hot one out today, y'all.
Because you could have literally took that building, the numbers were declining, they're still declining. So you literally could have took that building and turned it into something like a, who knows, let's say a trade school for these black kids in that community.
So what we were just told is that all of the council members, except for Shawanda Zawan, have voted to not defund the SPD, even though we did have 7 confirmed votes, including from Councilman Andrew, who we spoke with on our feed the other night on Wednesday of this last week. Gave us his personal guarantee that he was voting to defund SPD, but apparently they just voted against it, much like we were curious if it would happen. And words are empty without action, which is why you see all these people in the street right now taking action. Catch a freeze frame of that one right there. Go ahead and clip that one. would still like to have Ian, if you would meet me at City Hall, I'd really appreciate it. Or Shay. That's actually the fire station number 10 behind us right now. It's incredibly hot out here right now.
Who got our back? Who got our back? Who got our back? We all we need. We all we need. We all we need. We all we got. We all we got.
We're right outside the courthouse right now, about a block from the city hall, and over there is where we did the kind of the rally for Summer and Diaz on the same day as the Duet Kalite arraignment, where he pled not guilty to all 3 charges, which was vehicular assault, vehicular manslaughter, vehicular homicide, and reckless driving.
Great media, way to go!
What's up, man?
How are you in Portland?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We'll be back down there this weekend. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Apparently she's never watched the feed. Big note to everyone here, if you don't want your face on camera, guys, sorry. Everybody's got you on camera. The whole world is watching from many different angles. Wear a mask. Might piss you off to hear it, but wear a mask. Do what I don't do.
Every day. Every day. Shut it down. 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 Black lives matter. 50% at least. 50% at least. Black community.
I hope this camera angle is catching the great scope of how many people are really down here. I mean, thousands of people have come out for this march, which has made its way from 12th and Alder, from the King County Youth Jail, all the way down here to the City Hall. I'll take a mask off for a minute because I'm socially distanced safely. So, y'all see that behind me? It's a hell of a show up right now. We're right at the steps of City Hall right now. This is the one I'm standing on as we speak. And stage up speakers, the PAs, kind of get some speeches in. So we're gonna have a chance to really hear some thoughts from people. Yeah. A little self-indulgent moment there, y'all. Whatever. In an interesting turn of events, the council members just voted. All but one council member voted to not defund the SPD, contrary to the 7 out of 9 committed that we've had on that particular vote up until today. So, needless to say that there were some promises that were made that have changed, and I'm sure the calls will be made, because we actually stood out in front of Councilman Andrews' condo last Wednesday and spoke with him directly about the vote, and he made it very clear that he was going to vote to defund, and he had some ideas about what to do with those funds. But as it sits now, that is not the case.
Mic check, mic check. We're trying to get off the block. So keep coming through a little bit further, that'd be great. Just snug in.
If you guys could move that way.
Just move over, just keep going. There's a lot of space over here. Keep coming. There's a lot of space in the courtyard too.
Community, we need you to move in. Make space for each other so we can clear the block. So we can bring the car brigade in. So hug, don't really hug your neighbor. COVID is still real. Check. As Everyday March says, booty cheeks. Come together like booty cheeks. Hey, Nikita. Thank you. Security, if you can bring the car brigade up to the back of the march, please.
So again, we're standing on the steps of City Hall right now, y'all. Several thousand people out here that have been on this march from the King County Youth Jail up on 12th and Alder and the new site that they're developing. And this march is orchestrated or coordinated through the efforts of King County Equity Now and Decrim SPD. And yeah, like you're saying, it's a very peaceful grouping. There's been no incidents. There's been some incredible speakers. It's been a very controlled vibe, and you're seeing a group effort too from the EDM or the Everyday March, from the people that have been leading that. Last time I think we were out on these steps, guys, was when we were. It was just on the wrap up of the dismantling of the CHOP, if everyone can remember that, and they had a closed door session. By that I mean they locked the doors and wouldn't let anybody in. and they did a round robin about their thoughts about how the dismantling of the CHOP really went, of which you had Chief Best.
Test 1, 2, 3.
You know,
if you're supposed to
everybody
speak or
said that it was
perform, right,
a great show
please
of
come
of
over to
force
the
and,
stage.
of
I'm
accomplishment
right
by
here.
the
I'm
SPD
waving.
and the
I'm
Joint
over
Task
here.
Force.
Come over this way. I'm gonna say it one more time. If
While
you're
it did go
supposed
through
to speak
relatively
or perform,
peacefully,
please come up
I can tell
onto
you guys straight up
stairs
that
if you can.
SDOT's
If not, please let
efforts
someone
to
know. Thank you.
follow through on the promises they made were dismal at best. And so now we are back down here at City Hall, just across the street from the courthouse, where you can see up here that bridge is where typically people that are being transported from the jail go between these two courthouses. This is where DeWitt Khalid is currently held, if I'm not mistaken, and currently is pled not guilty to all 3 charges that were held against him in the assault on the freeway back on the morning of July 4th with Summer and Diaz. So all of our shout outs go to Diaz.
Friends and Sam, please make some noise.
Your recovery. Also to the family of Summer. A lot of love. We were so happy to see you come out to the park a few weeks back and have a chance to speak to people that have been following and a part of this with you ever since it happened.
Okay.
It's on a slant though, it's going to lean like that. Like, I'm going to have to hold it. I got nothing.
Test 1, 2, 3. Y'all can hear me like this, right? All right, make some noise like you care about being here right now. Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? All right, I'm gonna introduce Tati from Everyday March with a message for y'all. Make some noise for Everyday March.
Hi guys, I'm Tati. So while we were marching, we did receive news that they didn't vote yes to defunding SPD by 50%. That doesn't mean they're not defunding them whatsoever, but I want to remind you guys that we need to fight for 50%. There are so many people out here. There are so many people out here that can come out every single day, and it does not need to be with the Everyday March. You guys can fill up every corner of Seattle and make sure you're picketing and people know that we want to defund the police. You can call your council members and you can make sure that they know that that's what we're asking for. I need you guys to be out here until the 10th, at least until the 10th when they make the final vote. At least. It is amazing to come out here and support a big event, but every fucking day until the 10th, you need to put pressure. If you care about Black lives, prove it. If you care enough, you will help us defund SPD by 50%. The reality of this is, if we benefit off of 50%, everybody here will. Everybody. You guys need to care. And again, you don't have to come out with the Everyday March. You can do something on your own, but you need to be out in the streets to make sure you are seen and you are heard. That is the only reason we have gotten this far, is because we've been out here making sure that we are seen and we are heard, and Decrim and King County Equity Now has been doing this for years. You guys need to make sure this happens, please, because I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed the fuck off. Thank you guys.
Give it up one more time. Everyday March and Tati. Me? All right, it's fun. Hello? This mic is having a good time.
Let's try this one. Let's try this one. We're not going to try this one. Try this
One right. This one works better. I'm just gonna hold on to both of these things. All right, cool. How y'all doing out there? Wonderful.
So the Defund SPD campaign is decriminalize Seattle, King County Equity Network, King County Equity. This microphone is racist. Okay, decriminalize Seattle. Hello? We're trying to get them.
We got a bullhorn.
Give me 1 minute.
Here we go. Get an XLR cord. Here's the regular mic. Yeah, no, I know. That's what I was doing. I had an XLR. Like I was plugged in. You got it?
Take a look. They're getting some technical difficulties worked out. Y'all are, we're no stranger to that here at Concrete. We work through it though, much like they are. But the crowd here is amazing. You guys can see how many people are down here right now. It's a good time for me to go ahead and plug what's happening right now. This month we are heading to the March on Washington. We are going to the DNC as well over in Milwaukee. Your support is greatly appreciated. At the links below here, you can help us out. Or you can just go ahead and come on over to our website, concretereporting.com, if you're able to help donate directly. DM us, DM me, whatever. Anything you can do to help is greatly appreciated, y'all. We are definitely 100% on this to show you guys what's going on as it happens. I mean, I don't see any major stream media out here right now. I don't know if anyone's watching this on anything. This is what's happening right here. So I hope everyone sees this. You can appreciate the kind of support and rally that is happening out in these streets of Seattle right now. No, my mic is in my pocket right now, y'all. It's just I have no one to hold the camera for me, so I'm doing what I got to do here.
1, 2.
Speaking of, if my counterparts wanted to show up, that'd be great. I know y'all are in the middle of handling business, but it'd be cool to see you.
Can you guys hear me?
1.
Can you guys hear me? Whose lives matter? 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 All right, that's it. That's all I got. That's it. Make sure you're coming out to the morning marches and the evening marches. I am a part of Everyday March, and we would really, really appreciate if we had all these beautiful faces at our marches.
He didn't go anywhere, y'all. He's still 100% here. He's just handling some business right now.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Appreciate y'all. So I'm going to go back to this. Decriminalize Seattle, King County Equity Now, and protesters have been clear from the start of the uprising in Seattle. We must defund SPD by 50% and reinvest in Black community and community-based solutions to health and safety. We have 1 week to ensure City Council makes the deepest cuts possible to SPD and demand no less than 50%. This movement changed the politics of policing in our city. We'll no longer sit as our tax dollars fund the over-policing and criminalization of BIPOC communities. Social movements in defense of Black lives is what brought us here, and it is what will carry us forward. Seattle is on the cusp of setting a precedent for the nation in defunding police and investing in Black community and community-based forms of public health and safety. We know this will require cutting cops' jobs. Not really concerned about that. One less cop job in Seattle is one less cop to harass poor, queer, trans, disabled, Black, Indigenous people of color communities. For child care workers, bus drivers, teachers, social workers, community health workers, massive cuts and layoffs have been the norm for the past few decades every time the economy crashes. Yet police budgets remain untouched and in some cases continue to grow. We cannot continue to fund this racist institution. We cannot continue to pretend that cops actually create more safety. We create more safety. Community has the answers. Make some noise if you agree with that. Say the community has the answers. Now, I want you to give it up all the way to these stairs for Julie C. There's a lot of y'all out there. They guarding that same grave that'll harbor your lame frame. I see you searching for a space in the plot so purposefully. Hands they remain stained, backs caged, brains claimed. But the warrior ways will wage the waning of their circuitry. My people spring that leak cold, snapping the system's weak bones. Call it culture, structural rupture, puncture through the peephole. Vultures they try to sweep, so we flood deep into the movement you see, motivating through the streets, bro. For don't you know that we've been on, doing it just like red rum, bastard around this bedlam. Fingers they thread around thoughts of the victim. Shh, maintain. Da-da-da-da, dang, until your breath can't reach your brain. Now feel what I feel when I'm doing my fucking thing. 1 for the love, 2 for the hate that gone viral, 3 for the peace that I can't seek. Justice be that much more vital. That villainous constitution convoluting all through the spinal, seeping through your nerves so immediate, tedious, eating the proper ingredients so the people can keep on reaping it. Better than not even bother with that he say, she say. That Teflon karma armor relay, they repay, we reclaim, because the streets reign. Said whose streets? Whose streets? One more time, whose streets? Thank you so much. My name is Julie C. I'm an MC here from Seattle. As a young person, I was trafficked, then I was incarcerated. I was 14 years old when the arresting officer sexually assaulted me during a sting before badging me up and putting me in cuffs. I've never said that part of the story out loud before, but I think that this is the time that we're supposed to put that out, right? I'm shaking, y'all. Thank you for the love. After a 6-month bid in lockdown, I was dumped back into high school here, right? And of course I didn't go because the trauma and my inability to process this world that made no sense to my young mind, I was downward spiraling in depression and hopelessness, because that's what this criminal punishment system does, right? Am I right? All right. So I didn't go to school. I was on a bad path, but luckily by cutting class, I started hitting downtown Seattle, and there on 4th and Pine, I really found hip-hop, because whose streets? So one more time, whose streets? Okay. So through that deep legacy and community of hip-hop in Seattle, which extends from the long history and resilience of the Black community in Seattle, my life was saved. So I not only found an outlet to process and heal, it gave me a lens with which to understand the world around me. Community mentorship helped me graduate, still informs all I do and am, why I fight, why I organize, who and what I'm accountable to, why I'm a part of Decriminalize Seattle Collective and KC Equity Now Coalition, why we do this, right? And there are literally hundreds and thousands of artists and cultural workers like myself out here too, fighting this fight on multiple fronts for decades now. Many are represented in the orgs in KC Equity Coalition, but the nonprofit industrial complex is its own can of words, kinda. We gotta be careful with that too, right? But we individually and autonomously are the antidotes, as are you. Because whose streets? I've seen a lot of you in the streets the last few months. Some of y'all I've known to do this and be this for decades, but many newer faces, so this is just a message I want to leave with y'all today. This battle for defund the city hall shit, these city council votes, it's only the beginning of one small front of this fight. It's a vital one. And we want what? No less than what? That's right, it's vital. But the work of dismantling racism and white supremacy is the work of decolonization, and it is bigger than policy, bigger than marching and voting, bigger than the entire political system that was never created for us. It's radical, it's relational. So please know this. The formations that I've been observing, I've seen y'all out here this past 2 months. The relationships you're building, the systems of organic, community-rooted accountability, this is the future. You out here in these streets is the future. So whose streets? One more time, whose streets? Right. We gotta be careful and we gotta be gentle with each other, because there is no path for this shit right now, okay? And it gets confusing. And we're going to disagree sometimes on tactics in this fight, on strategy, on approach. We're gonna argue, we're gonna beef, we're gonna make mistakes, but we must do so from the street level, together, transparently, committed to the movement and not a moment, am I right? Right now, more than ever, the interpersonal is very, very political. Counterinsurgency is real. We must be vigilant and present with each other so that we can effectively defend against the powers that seek to exploit any and all points of disunity that has or might emerge. as you've seen, our enemies are very real, right? Y'all been on the front lines, y'all seen them? But the insidiousness of relational counterinsurgency, the divide and conquer tactics, that shit is just as damaging, if not tenfold, for longer than any CS gas or rubber bullet could be. But we will be victorious though, right? Louder, louder. Make some noise if you believe in us. If you believe in each other, yourselves, because we're gonna need that. Y'all are beautiful, and nothing in this city, country, or world will ever be the same. This is a good thing. So gratitude for making this moment and this council vote real. Let's keep pushing this movement forward together, and I appreciate y'all. Give it up one more time for Julie C. All right, so what do we want instead of cops? There's a 4-point plan. One is to replace current 911 operations with a civilian-controlled system. 2, scale up community-led solution. 3, fund a community-created roadmap to life without policing. 4, invest in housing for all. Make some noise. And now, I would like to introduce y'all to the house mother of House of Monet, the first black trans woman in Washington State to even have a house. I want you to make all the noise you got for Tinashe.
Mic check.
When I hear it say, whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? Don't mind me sweating up here. I just did all that. You guys saw it. Can I hear us say one more thing? Let me hear you guys say, after Black Lives Matter, I want to hear Queer Lives Matters. You ready? Who lives matter? Whose lives matter? Now, of course, let me hear my trans community. Let me hear it for the girls. Whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? The trans lives matter! Thank you guys so much for your time. You guys didn't hear before. My name is Tina Shea Monet. I'm a ballroom house mother in our Seattle Tacoma ballroom scene, including Portland. I started my house about 2 years ago. I started my house for the reason being, us queer people need family, support.
I'm not exactly
love,
certain what the rules are on filming this right now. So,
but at the end of the day, all my queerness and trans in society, me being here,
I'm not
people
sure.
from the outside
People
don't see me as trans, they see me as black. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be black in my queerness, in my transness, in everything that I am. And I thank you guys all for being here to support everything that is me, that is all of you. Everyone that's so out tonight, we did that. Love and support, much love everyone, thank you guys.
I want y'all to make so much more noise for Tinashe. If you want to support Black trans folks, the best way to do that is to support them directly. You can Venmo Tinashe at Tina-Monet and on Cash App at TINASHEAMONET. Monet like the painting. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. One more time for Tinashe. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that Black trans lives matter because we do, right? So can y'all say Black trans lives matter? That means that you will protect Black trans lives matter with everything you got, right? That means out in public, at the dinner table, and when they cuss you out, when it's just the two of y'all, you'll listen, right? Awesome. Now I want to give it up all the way to this stairway to Auntie Ian. Give it up for Auntie Ian, please.
How y'all doing? Come on, Seattle, you can do better than that. Thank you. Just really want to thank each and every one of you, not only for coming out, but continuously showing out, showing them that we are here to be heard. Thank you. All day, every day marchers, thank you. Y'all have held it down. And for that, we're thankful. Every last one of us that made a call to council, thank you. Today is actually a celebration. They failed to understand that. We are celebrating that we even got here to this level where they're actually having a conversation that's real. So for that, who do we thank? Say the community. When I say who do we thank, say the community. Because without you, we ain't nothing. I need everybody to remember that. With that though, I'm going to do some reminders.
some reminders for our council members that might be getting a little shook up and a little scared. We're going to tell you to find the courage that the daggone community that came out and this son found. The community that keeps calling daily. The community that keeps showing up in your faces daily and nightly. That keeps coming to your house to have an honest conversation.
I know Bobby
with
shows up,
you.
starts blocking my shot.
So I'm going to ask y'all to understand,
I had no brother.
respect the young people that show up at your doorsteps. Give them some love. Listen to them. They don't have to do it. But because all of our lives depend on it, including your behinds, they show up daily. So I need y'all to give them the respect that's due. Instead of sending your daggone neighbors. And yeah, I got a little message for my so-called chief that seems to look like me. Let me tell you, if you're scared of mines, then get the hell out of the damn office. All I saw was some young people that looked exactly like you. Yet you called them what? Thugs. You told me who the hell the real thug was. You see, the minute you done called law enforcement over there, and then you applauded your so-called neighbors, you done told us who you were. We saw the weapons that they drew on those young people's faces. And see, my native sister, who sent her young daughter, whether that young daughter came out on her own, if she did, I love you for it. If she didn't, and it was Mama that sent you, I got a message from Mama. I'm telling you, find your heart, because your baby did. So there's got to be something right about you, because you produced somebody that was open enough to come and talk to the people that were daily showing up for her community. Yeah, I said it, her community, because it was her community that they were fighting for. It was her community that they were showing up all day, every day. All day. So with that, make sure that you understand, not only are we going to be out here today, but not only every day, but we're going to call it. And, oh, I got a message for the union. Yes. The ones that went to Fox News. Yeah, you told us who the hell you were. It wasn't good enough that we took labor union from you. You're still causing problems. Matter of fact, now you're bringing attention to us on a national level. You're letting us know nationally that you're terrorizing us. Yeah, we said it, terrorists. You call us terrorists? Look no further than your own. Look at the daggone weapons that you come with for our people. And all these European Americans that found the heart to come out, I thank you. But guess what? I'm going to need you to do a little more. And when a black person tells you to fall the hell back, fall the hell back. So for us, it is life and death, and it's always been life and death. I don't stand here because I want to in this heat. I stand out here because I got black children. So please remember that. You and your privileged self can opt out any time you choose. We pray you don't. But the truth is, you can. So when we ask you politely, nicely, to step back, don't tell us how you were out here every day, all day. Well, guess what? Thank you. But you must not be listening. If I got to stand out here and talk about your behind. So I repeat, if we tell you fall back, respect it. Respect it. We have our reasons.
Okay, one more time.
Law enforcement. Message is loud and clear. Time's done. Chief of police, you might look like me, but your day is done. For those of you that keep talking about Reverend Walton standing with the chief, I love you, Reverend Walton, but guess what? I'm going to have to tell you to step the hell back, because her time is done. Love y'all. Without you, we won't do this. Let them find the courage, every last one of them. So at this point, I'm asking every one of them to hold their end. When we said 50%, when did we want it?
Now!
How do we want it?
Yesterday!
Whose community should get it?
Black community!
Say that loud and clear.
Black community!
Thank you. Love y'all.
Yo, give it up for Auntie Elon.
Exactly, because y'all was not paying attention. Y'all stuck here talking. Tell them where the fucking money is going that's getting donated to Black Lives Matter. We're not Black Lives Matter. No. It's still racism, bro. Dance with this shit. All the money you get funded through Black Lives Matter goes to Joe Biden campaign. It don't matter. It don't matter. Bro, listen. Okay, then, what are you out here for? I'm not saying you're not Black Lives Matter.
Hello? Okay, can I hear everybody say free the mob? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Let's say it again. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate that. Give it up for Chelsea Richardson.
Give it up for Evo. Wait. And give it up for yourself.
Give it up for yourself. What I also want to do is, I want to take a moment to tell y'all a story. Can I tell y'all a story? I was sitting on these steps, and it's hot as shit out here, right? And so I'm sweating and shit, right? And I'm red and all kinds of stuff, right? So I'm sitting here, and a black woman came up to me, and she handed me some sunscreen. And I just kind of laughed it off, and I was like, no, I'm good. And she looked at me, and she said, no, you're going to take this, right? And this is how we take care of each other. I know that you need some sunscreen, and I'm going to make sure that you put it on, right? So give it up for black people, all right? We take care of each other out here. I'm not going to burn up. All right, so are y'all familiar with the Trans Women of Color Solidarity Network? If you are not, you should get out your space phone and look it up. The Trans Women of Color Solidarity Network gives low to no barrier financial assistance to trans women of color. So if you know a trans woman of color, they can get low to no barrier. Is that correct?
Do you hear that, Technologies?
That is correct. And they've given over $100,000 to trans women of color in the past year.
It's a lot of money,
we have
Technologies.
someone as a representative of the Trans Women of Color Solidarity Network. Please give it up for Maddie.
Maddie is not a robot. Technologies.
Hey friends.
Interface.
It's hot out here. My eyebrow done melted off, so if you see me without an eyebrow, don't make fun. So, somebody asked me the other day, and this is actually true, why defund police though? Why not reform? And to me, these questions come from a place of conditioning to believe that the police are actually there to protect and serve us, the people. Although we know that throughout history and current events that the police are not employed to protect us, but to uphold and protect white supremacy and property. I'm gonna give you guys some facts. We say defund the police because we know that militarized policing does nothing to protect officers, which is the favorite excuse of SPD and other departments around the US. And it does nothing to reduce crime, according to a study of over 9,000 police departments in the United States. We also know that access to social services, community safety nets, education, housing, community-based organizations reduce crime. A recent study found that for every $10,000 increase in spending per person living in poverty, there was an associated 16% decrease in the homicide rate. Another study found that access to health care also reduces crime. Another study from NYU provided provided empirical evidence of something that organizers and community leaders have been saying now and for decades, which is that it is impossible to address crime without first addressing chronic poverty, mental health, substance abuse, health care, education, child care, jobs, employment, systemic racism, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia, just to name a few. So we know police reform isn't going to fix a system that was ultimately built to protect local and federal government interests and property. We know that reform won't fix a system that was built to terrorize and abuse BIPOC citizens. Defunding SPD and investing in community-based solutions and social services is important now more than ever. Social services and community-based orgs, collectives, and the work of community leaders have steadily been defunded and underfunded to the tune of 73% in the past 38 years. Fuck that noise, right? Is it any wonder that these cuts have mostly impacted Black communities, communities of color, immigrant communities, LGBTQ communities, and other marginalized folks? It's on purpose. So, if we have had to live with all of that, then SPD can live without 50% that affords them militarized weapons and the highest paychecks for police officers in the fucking country.
I need to go and check you guys out, man. Keep talking to Omari about it, but
and they can do that so that we can rebuild and reinvest in our own communities and the safety of those communities. As a queer, trans person, this is also our fight. Defunding SPD for us means investing in and creating trans-specific housing and shelter systems. Current shelter systems are often religion-based and inherently unsafe, with staff often taking part in the abuse and mistreatment of trans folks. We often get the statement from trans women of color specifically that they would rather risk sleeping outside than in Seattle shelters due to the constant abuse and discrimination that they receive. Defunding the police for us also means funding to create crisis support and response teams comprised of queer and trans folks who will be trained and better able to meet the needs of trans and queer folks in crisis. Defunding SPD for our trans and queer youth means a place for them to go and be themselves as we create more BIPOC-centered queer and trans youth programming. The police has never, ever, ever served the trans or queer community. In fact, we celebrate Pride as a protest of the ways in which the police has historically targeted, abused, and terrorized the trans and queer communities. Police still target trans and queer individuals both in and out of incarceration, and physical and sexual assault and abuse experienced at the hands of police is significantly less likely to be reported in our community. At Trans Women of Color Solidarity Network and Black Trans Task Force, who couldn't be here today, we are invested in creating and reimagining community support and safety systems where we can absolutely meet the needs of our community while building meaningful connections with our BIPOC neighbors and empowering community members. Trans lives matter. Black trans lives matter. Black queer lives matter. Defund SPD.
Thank you so much. All right, so we are actually coming to a close. That doesn't mean leave yet, because we have the person who is just hosting, Ebo, is also an amazing spoken word artist, teaching artist. Yeah, you can cheer for every single word. Ebo will be releasing a book on August 27th called Insubordinate. Did I say it wrong? Oh. Where can they find your... You can also find Ebo's information, like booking information, and more ways to buy, like purchase merch from Ebo on ebobarton.com. And welcome Ebo to the stage.
Oh, hey y'all, remember me? Cool. I'm gonna do a poem for y'all. When I came out to my mother, her first reaction was to comment on the volume of my voice when I said transgender, as if being myself in public wasn't already loud. I lowered my voice. Do you reach black adulthood when your parents' reactions to your unblossoming start to sound hollow like an empty cage? When you look into a mirror and discover you are the only and ugliest salvation your family ever inherited? Do you reach brown adulthood when your reflection rejects you in your second language? The language you kept safe in your back pocket is an exhausted compass that only points towards the ocean. What about respect for my elders means mute myself? Are you still an adult if you just want to go home? I learned that being free isn't what everyone wants, especially if you find custody convenient. And I know that you think my gender makes you angry, but the truth is, my gender binds you to fear, uncovers your discomfort from seeing the rapture in my reach, these bare wrists. What about my freedom scares you? I named myself Ebo to worship the slave rebellion that drowned their captors, rose into the sky, turned into birds, and flew back home. Why would you deny me this worship? Why would you keep this story trapped in a book? And don't mistake me for fearless. It took me a whole lifetime to get back home, but I'm still willing to come back for you if you want to come. Jaden Smith's skirt, Billy Porter's entire wardrobe, Lizzo's exposed thong, Monroe Bergdorf's middle finger, Zaya Wade, my beard, my pronouns, my lips blossoming on a shoulder blade. We are the efflorescence of eternal emancipation. Come with us. Before I leave, tell my mother I've uninstalled the whisper in my authentic. If you don't want to untie the knots of shame, trying to convince you compromises the wind cradling my wings, so stay in bliss. But ask yourself, are you free? Or are you conditioned to this captivity? Whatever the answer is, please let me live. I just want to go home. Thank you very much.
I got the attachment cord in my bag, but what? That's good for right now.
Thank you so much, y'all. I really appreciate it. You can find that book August 27th on ebobarton.com. It's called Insubordinate. Because surprisingly, someone called me that. Isn't that hilarious? Okay, sorry, anyway.
I'm not on the mic.
I want to introduce someone who's been working very hard today. Working very hard, so I'm really excited that they get to do this. So I want you to give it up all the way to the stage for Mama Nikki.
You just don't want me to use it.
All right, here's the thing. It's hot out here, all right, y'all? I messed up, it's okay. It's all right.
You also just performed?
Yeah, so I was switching.
Step out and then step back into host.
Thank you, yeah, okay.
That was not good.
Yeah, next time I get in trouble, I want you to be around.
I'm always here for you.
All right, thank you.
I really, for real.
Black women looking out for me all the time. I love it. Love it.
Well, hold on, let me also,
while we're here,
while we're standing here, remind everyone that it's Black August. That sounds exciting. That means you should go look it up, because I don't have time to explain it.
Y'all got space phones. Bring out the space phones. Look up Black August. All right.
Technologies.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. We're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. We're gonna have a Men in Black flash moment. Y'all don't remember what happened. I just got off stage, so can y'all applaud and pretend like I just got done doing anything? Okay. Oh, thank you all so much. That's from my book, Insubordinate. It comes out August 27th. Now I'd like to introduce you to King County Equity Now. Is that correct? Give it up all the way to stage for Elijah.
Thank you so much. So my name is Elijah L. Lewis. I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm a committee member for King County Equity Now, and I'm also part of Africa Town. I also support our sister organization, Decrim Seattle. Come on now, Mama Nikki. All the organizers who put so much work into this. Come on now, give it up for us. Come on. Thank you so much. Today is a very hard day to me because I have to speak about my brother's assassination in front of y'all. See, it's sad that a 17-year-old could be assassinated, but this is the reality that we face. Before we get into the real though, I would like everybody to get their phones out if you don't already have it, and support us at King County Equity Now on our Instagram right now. So add us on King County Equity Now, and then also support us on our website, kingcountyequitynow.com. Okay? All right. So I want to start talking about whenever you have to look into, a system or whatnot, in order to disrupt the system or change the system, you have to find out where the root is and what the root is, right? So if you look at the SPD and the police force in general, the root is from slavery. You see, the police force was the slave catchers, right? That's how they started. And whenever the root is impure and starts from hate and racism and, just a negative place, then it continues that same cycle over generations and generations and generations. You see, they've had time to hide their roots and where they really come from. So we have to remember where they truly come from and why it's so important to defund them by 50%. Okay? See, we're starting in our community because Seattle is the trendsetters, I believe. We're trendsetters. People look at us and they follow, right? So if we're the trendsetters, we got to be the trendsetters within defunding the SPD, right? Absolutely. Are we going to wait for it? When do we want it? Not later? Do we want equity? Yes, absolutely. We don't want equality, we want equity now, okay? That's why it's called King County Equity Now. For those who don't know, we're a coalition of organizations that demand equity in our community, right, in King County, and we're going to make it trending around other counties, but we got to start within our own county before we go to anywhere else, right? All right. Okay, and when we say Black Lives Matter, it's really talking about my life matters. So when you say Black Lives Matter, I'm going to say my life matters. So can I hear us say Black Lives Matter? My life matters, right? Absolutely. Okay. I'm from South Seattle. Born and raised. We got some Central District heads over here too. Come on now. Gotta shout out the CD because we're unity, right? We're actually standing together. The South End and the CD has actually had so much division within it, but here we are standing together, and that's powerful, okay? In our own communities first, right? And I shout out to all the Africans who are doing the same. All the tribalism they're putting aside and they're standing together. We got people all around the nation, we got people all around the world that are part of King County Equity Now and also Africa Town, okay? Because when we speak about Africa Town, we're speaking about the whole diaspora, right? We're talking about the whole diaspora because we have to come together, okay? We have to come together. But back to my brother's assassination. This is tough for me. Man, I want to start out on a positive note. See, my chance to y'all is chance to me. He was a cat that I started hanging around with when I was like 13 years old, and we just had a bond and a friendship. We was two peas in a pod. Man, we used to always have some crazy ass times, man. Can't even tell y'all about some of them, but it's just, that was, man, when you talk about ride or die, that was Chance. You see, he rode for what he believed in. He was a poet, but he was also a revolutionary in the making. Chance would be right here by my side if he wasn't assassinated. The sad part is a lot of talent is in the graveyards, especially from our community. A lot of talent, a lot of ambitions, a lot of goals, a lot of dreams are in the graveyard. And not all of them were killed while they were alive. A lot of them were shunned and were told that their dreams were not a reality or realistic, right? We're told our dreams are not realistic, so a lot of us believe it, and it stops us within our goals.
But back to talking about my brother. When it came down to him dying, he was riding for his brother. You see, there were kids. They were just trying to sell some bottles. But you know, the police, they had a different thing at mind. See, they thought that he was related to a crime that had been committed. And the police had so much anger behind it that when they seen Chance and my bro, they didn't even pay him for the bottles. They opened fire on him. Opened fire. And shot Chance 7 times. The last time in the back of his head. But Chance didn't die. He fought for his life for 18 hours after that. He suffered. Then he died. So, when I look at y'all and say my life matters, that's what I'm talking about. When I look at y'all and say we need to defund this corrupt ass system and start supporting the community and community-led organizations that are actually within the community fighting the fight and are not brutalizing us and are actually fixing the problems within the community on our own and don't get funding, it's community members that are doing it for free so that your brother doesn't get shot and killed. That's what I'm talking about. You see, I risk my life every single day I come out here. Every single time that I walk out the door, I have to think, man, is this gonna be the day? You know? Every single time I see a police officer behind me, is this gonna be the day that my niece and nephew lose their uncle? Right? Is this gonna be the day that I get a mistaken identity? Right? Is this gonna be the day that I have to lay my life down trying to, you know, bring unity within my own brothers and within my own community? It's not just the police, but it's within our own community. And we gotta change that. That's what we're here for. So when I say defund the police, I want y'all to say now, okay? Defund the police? Now! Defund the police? Now! Okay. Because the community needs resources. We need funding, right? But that we actually control, right? I just looked at a statistic before I came up here. There's been 600 individuals this year that have been shot and killed by the police. This year in 2020, names that we don't even know. White, black, Latino, everybody. So everybody should take it personal when we're talking about defunding the police. Because it's not just in the black community, it's in all communities. We just represent the most, right? And when it comes down to our communities, 98% of us don't get justice when it comes to police brutality. So that's why we say Black Lives Matter, right? See, the unfortunate part about my brother's death is it wasn't publicized, so it couldn't be told to thousands and thousands and millions like George Floyd. But I'm glad that we have this movement here. I am glad that we're all here together, right? Because now we can move. Now is the time we can move. This is all of our community. I want y'all to wake up. I want y'all to open up your minds and understand that you have the power to block that street. You have the power to block these doors and to say, y'all not coming in here. There's not gonna be anything happening unless we get our justice and we get equity. You have the power. It's in y'all. It's in me, but it's also in y'all. Wake the fuck up. Because I'm no longer living in a fantasy, okay? This is real life. This is real life. There's a lot of stuff going on. 800,000 kids are going missing every single year, yet a lot of people are still thinking Corona's real, but 800,000 kids are going missing. There's other things, there's other inequities that need to be addressed, starting in our community. So that's all I'm gonna say. King County Equity Now, that's why y'all need to support us. Come on, give it up for King County Equity Now. Give it up for black businesses. And last but not least, give it up for yourself for just being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you guys know we're down in City Hall right now, sitting on the steps.
So
a march that started up on 12th and Alder at the youth jail, King County Youth Jail, the new
is also
location.
an organizer,
and we made our way
who is also
the march down through the International District.
just
here
all
to City
around,
Hall.
just an
This is
amazing,
put on by
dope
Decrim
person. Can you please welcome to the stage
Decrim Seattle,
Mama Nikki,
and also the King County Equity Now.
Y'all doing okay? Are y'all doing okay? I got some announcements for you. So you know they're in chambers right now. Chambers, whatever it is. The council's together. So there's not going to be any more horse police. I'm like, this is one thing. I'm going to tell you 4 things that just happened. There's no more horse patrols. They're freeing the horses. Yeah, they're freeing the horses.
It's a
Free
liberate
them
the
all.
horses.
Free all of them, including the animals. The cops are out of the schools. The recruitment budget for the rest of the year is gone. And there's no more cop sweeps. We made some big wins today. We still got a lot of work to do. But be proud of the work that we're doing. Show up to places. Please don't stop showing up. The people that have been on the ground doing this for years, I want to show love to the No New Youth Jail. Like, that coalition has been working their asses off for years. There are people that have been working on this that are not here anymore. They've left the city, but I want to make sure that they know they are loved. They are appreciated. They put their time and work in. They are not seen. Let me just make that clear. If this is the first time that you have been, like, invigorated to show up for Black lives, 1, I'm glad you're here. 2, don't stop, because you're late. Black trans lives matter. I'm sorry, let's try that again. I said Black trans lives matter. Black folk are tired of dying. We're also tired of telling you why. If you're white, you talk to your white friends and your white family about why Black lives matter. You don't ask the black person in the room to do it for you. Here's my other thing, including for my youth. Just because you wouldn't do it in front of a black person or you wouldn't do it in front of your mama, it doesn't mean you should do it in front of someone else that's not there. Do it at all times. Otherwise, you really don't matter. And here's to my allies. If you think you're an ally, somebody should have told you that you're an ally that's black. Because if you think that you are and you just gave yourself that title, I need you to try again. Because you need to be validated for that. Please don't get that twisted. So, we've done a lot today, but I want to end on a positive note. 1, thank you, Roxanne, for blessing us, and just like all of it, just all of it. Is it okay if I try to bless us out? Is that okay? Can I bless all of us out? It is a hot day. I thought I was going to have to do this a cappella because my phone overheated. It literally said temperature emergency. So there's that. But I want to practice something because I'm going to need your help. If you like to stand, you can stand now. It's okay. It's all right if you got too comfortable. Okay? Maybe not get too comfortable. Because we like to make sure that you're uncomfortable because we're uncomfortable every day. So I need you to repeat after me. We're going to work on all of your bathroom voices out into the open. So we all rising up. So you're going to repeat that. Hold on, I got you. I'm gonna cue you in. I got you. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So we all rising up. Okay, we're gonna get there. And then the second part is, and I'm not gonna stop. Slight delay. I'm not wondering if you're hesitant or if it's just you. Maybe you, I don't really know, but I want to hear you. So if you're 6 feet from someone, which is not happening, I'd say take your mask off so I can hear you, but you're just gonna have to blow through it with me. Is that okay? Okay.
Ready, wrong, mix.
Take it, then they'll work you, don't let it break you. You can make your own ways, make your own plans. You can, we can. Take the time out your day to day and make plans for the paydays. Give thanks to the greats, give praise to the names. Ancestors made the way, every Douglas on the wall. Need to see your body in the halls, and if you lose your thoughts, with some holy ground plots. From alphas and omegas, the deltas and the zetas, the kappas and iotas, the AKAs all out on the yard. Give them all some love, y'all. We all rising up from the CD. I'm not gonna stop. Serenian Beach. We all rising up from the Youth Detention Center. And I'm not gonna stop. Right here at City Hall. They try to take us to races, make us feel like our cases. And when you open the faces, that's why we built these places. A family is born. Only Seattle people know. A high education is what we need, but we got more. Looking around you and what you will see. Our doctors and teachers, artists and writers, music and dancers, actors and fighters. We all want the same thing, so take it from me. Cause it can be a long journey, but you will see a legacy appearing out of me. Cause what we love is here, and how we love matters. Cause what we love is here, and how we love matters. How we love matters. There you go. So we all rising up. Go ahead, I can hear you. I'm not gonna stop. Come on. So we all rising up again. And I'm not gonna stop. Hey, so we all rising up.
Someone screenshot that.
I'm not gonna stop. What we gonna do? So we all rising up. Yeah. And I'm not gonna stop. One more time. We all rising up. Y'all sound so good. And I'm not gonna stop. I need y'all here every day. Black Lives Matter! 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 Yo, can we show some love to the bike brigade and the car brigade? I want to show love also to Sky and his team for the travel music and the gear that was flying with you as you marched. Y'all show some love for that sound.
Our medic crew, yes. Show some love to the medic crew. Thank you for being here. We have a situation right at the beach.
Why come Bobby couldn't have brought me an umbrella too?
So if you
Where's
can
your
just turn
umbrella?
around. It's this building,
I don't know how
right?
you're still upright right now.
So
I don't know how
at
you're
8
still
a.m.
upright,
tomorrow.
man. Oh, for real?
Y'all remember hearing about James and Jerome? They got a hearing tomorrow at 8 a.m. If you ain't got nowhere else to be, you should be right here. 8 a.m. tomorrow. Show some support for these gentlemen. These young men need it. They need to hear you just like all the other youth that are locked up in that jail. Because we got to shut it all down. Everybody knows that Monday is that big day when the rest of the votes are going to be happening. I can't tell you where you're going to be. I might suggest some things, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to give you that ability to do it on your own. But I know you might want to hang out with the morning marches. That everyday march, they might leave you, I don't know. They might show up somewhere. That might make people uncomfortable. But if you show up in numbers like this, there shouldn't be an issue. Pay attention, show up, and follow. Y'all get home safe. Thank you for being here. Oh, please make sure that you pick up your water bottles and your trash, put it away. We leave things better than how we brought them and how we found them.
All right, everybody.
Wait, what's it? Yeah. Oh, right now, because if we're talking already?
Yep.
For King County Metro, our bus folks, they're trying to take away another 200 jobs. If you have the ability to stick around for a little bit longer, where's it on? Rainier Park? Pioneer Park. If you can go over to Pioneer Park right now and support them because these bus jobs are about to get cut, shut it down. If you can get there, shut it down. Let's go.
Hey, everybody, I need your attention too, real quick, please, before you leave, okay? Okay, so there's one or two really important things I need to say. One is, if there's garbage around you or something, pick it up. I'm not saying pick up somebody else's nasty garbage, but like if it was yours, your water bottle or something, please pick it up. Secondly, remember, today was actually a really amazing and beautiful march and rally, but we still have to keep each other safe in these streets, right? So what we have to do is remember to stay together, stay with the people that you came with. Don't veer off and go your separate ways. And also, I'm going to ask people to get onto the sidewalks now so that the car brigade and the bikes can actually hold this space until we're clear from here. And remember to stay together. Yes.
I'd like to make an announcement of 2 marches happening also. This Friday, we meet at Seattle Central on the corner of Pine and Broadway, Black Indigenous Coalition at 7 p.m. And we're gonna march to Ike's.
Hey, everyone that's walking away, hold please, come back this direction, please, it's really important. For safety reasons, I would like people to come back. We actually, we're trying to keep everyone safe, so we would like people to come back to this area. Okay, but we do have, please don't go to Pioneer Square. Let's stay safe and go this way, this direction. Does everybody understand that? Go this way. Go this way and up.
That's northeast.
So northeast. And on the sidewalks, please. I did. For safety reasons. So, just hold 1 sec. You can actually disperse, but just go this way. Thank you so much.
And please support us on Saturday. We're marching for farm workers. That's one group of people that cannot come out because they're under attack by this government. The separation of Hispanic and Mexican families. So please support us on Saturday. We're on Facebook. March for Farm Workers. Thank you.
All right, y'all, so we're wrapped up here at City Hall. I think there might still be an announcement or two. But apparently there's a counter-protest going this way, and I'm curious to see what that's all about. So, of course, I'm going to go that way, see what's going on with that. But, yeah, it's been a pretty incredible gathering. Again, this is a march that started up on 12th and Alder at the King County Youth Jail. A new site, and what more of the focus there. Made its way down here to City Hall. This was organized by Decrim Seattle, Decrim, also the King County Equity Now. EDM, the Everyday March, also a big part of this, leading the march as they do. So several thousand people came out for this. A real amazing sign of collective minds. There was no violence. So the protest march itself ended the way that it started with some incredible speeches and some sharing of some great viewpoints. So I'm going to go ahead and head down towards Pioneer Square right now. So we'll see what's going on over there. I might tune out for 2 seconds and come back on. I'm not sure. I'll just keep it on and walk and talk. But we're about to find out. Alright, so I'm going to cut out for 2 seconds here, and I'm going to take a look down the block, see what's happening, and I'll be back. You're very welcome. I'm glad I could be here. Thanks, you guys, for coming with us. It's been a couple hours. But yeah, that's how we do every day. Most every day. We try to get everything. But again, we're trying to get up to some other places, guys. Want to help. If you want to help, you can help. Right down in here are on this side. Some of the donation locations. Come straight over to our website, concreteporting.com. If you're able to help out, give you a lot of love. We'd appreciate you guys. We are going to be heading out to the East Coast, the Mideast, here in a couple weeks for the DNC, for the March on Washington. It's going to be epic, amazing opportunity to see what's happening in some of the other major cities across the nation here. Chicago, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, or not Brooklyn, sorry. We're trying to hit up, actually we are trying to get up towards New York and Boston. But Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, obviously. We're going to be in Minnesota to start things off with Mercado Media, with Andrew Mercado out there. Other places, Baltimore, what's up, Sham? And then to DC. So, in no respective order, keep that in mind. So, I'm going to go ahead and see what's cracking off here down the street. Appreciate y'all for coming with us on this ride today. and I'm going to tune out. So thanks so much.